Hello, pipe people. I hope everybody's all right today. Enough of the sign. I decided to start this one with a picture of my youth. The first time I was introduced to a pipe. My dad and my granddad had a boot cobbler shop. And when Dad had to take care of me, he would strap me in that high chair and shove a pipe in my mouth so I'd stay out of their way. I don't know that that would be accepted practice today. But I don't remember that I minded that. So I love that picture. Once again, I'm going to fill my Bing's Choice with some more Carter Hall. I hope you'll bear with me here. I don't guess you have much choice if you're going to watch, do you? Seems to me when I opened this the first time it had a little more moisture in it than it does here. It seems quite dry, and I thought that keeping it in that jar, that mason jar, would keep the moisture in it. I just don't know. But like I say, it just doesn't feel as moist as what I remember when I opened that packet the first time. I have a couple of pipes here that I wanted to show to you too. They're a couple of the first ones I bought when I started this about a month ago. Excuse me. Reminds me of when I smoked Camels. Pulling that tobacco off your tongue. Need to get those filters, I guess. I opened the window so I could have the smoke drift out, and it looks like the wind's coming in, blowing it in. So that's that. Okay. When I first started about a month ago, maybe it was a month and a half ago now, I said I need pipes. So I bought pipes. And I thought, this is really neat. Let me move this thing back a little bit. I can't find my camera. Anyway, this is a clay pipe. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. Because they used to smoke those back during the Revolution and before. So I thought I'd get me one. And then I stuck it in my mouth and it just stuck to my lips. I didn't like that at all. So I never smoked it. But what I plan to do is put some acrylic paint on the end here and see if that helps so that it doesn't get stuck to your lips. But I still think it's a neat pipe. Kind of goes back to history. And then as I watched folks, I heard people say Savinelli, Savinelli, Savinelli. So I went to Smoking Pipes and I looked at what I thought everybody seemed to have in their hand, and this is what I bought. And when I got it, I saw the size of that bowl, and I figured it would take me 2 days to smoke something that big. Because I mean, that my whole thumb can go down there. This is a Savinelli Hercules. 111EX. So I think it'll be a little further down the road when I fill that with tobacco. I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny though. You get all excited when you get into something new, and you don't research too much when you're like me. You just go in and start buying. You'd think I'd learn. I think I'm too old to learn though. I had some folks online on the YouTube community who pointed me out, and I was kind of thankful for that, so I thought I would say something about them. Smarty Bob, who mentioned me in one of his, and I thanked him for that because I was surprised. He even showed the sign that I had made. And there's KY Highland Piper and Senior Church Warden, Smoking Buddy Matt, Ghost Cobb, B-Dog Piper, and St. David Pipes, who also mentioned me. So I thought I would say something about them as well, and thank you very much for that mention. And I kept wondering, I think I said it a couple of times, what in the world do you talk about? And one of these folks mentioned, talk about the pipes that you got. So I thought, well, I can show my ignorance pretty good, and I can point out the pipes I got. People can tell me if they're smart choices or not. Because like I said, I just went out with the plastic and started buying. Now this, I don't know if you can see that very well. This was on sale at Pipes and Cigars, and having bought so many in such a short time, I figured I needed something like that, so I went ahead and bought that. And that came in last week. What am I looking for, y'all are asking? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, I'm not sure when I bought these because I just went into a buying frenzy, which is, I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but I do when I get into something new. Let's start with this one. This is a Rossi, N-O-T-T-E, Notte. And I think I bought it for the stem because I liked that design. And once I got it, it was a bigger bore than I was wanting or expecting, but I still like the pipe. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm holding it up, so hang on for a minute. I thought something looked different. I had something to prop that up in the back there. I haven't been using it. Okay. Now, the Rossi Naughty, which I bought. I like it, and I've smoked it a few times, but it was kind of, for me, top heavy and hung in my clenched teeth a little weighty. Now this one, I just thought that looked cool. I like that little brass band. And this is a Rattray's Distillery 129. And I like the fact that it was black with that brass band between the shank and the stem. Now this one, I'm not sure where I got this. It says Amadeus, made in Greece. I think that's Greece. No numbers or anything. But I liked the design of that. And also this stem that seems to have attracted my attention. And I like this, I guess they call it a diamond-shaped shank. I like that. This one, I heard everybody talking about it too. It's kind of short, but it still smokes well. It's a Savinelli Roma 673. And before the challenge, I was smoking this quite a bit. I like it a lot. I prefer a smooth finish to this rough finish, but still, I like this pipe. This one, I think I got this off of eBay because I heard that Norman Rockwell smoked Sassini pipes, and this was a Sassini Royal Stewart London made. And on this side it says made in England, 73. It's a small pipe. And the bowl, I guess it's maybe a 10 or 15 minute bowl. But I really like that. It's lightweight, clenches nice, and your mouth doesn't get tired holding on to it, or your teeth don't get bugged by holding on to it. This is another Rossi. I have a thing for this stem, but the shank is longer on this one. It's a Rubino Antico. I don't see any numbers, but still, I like this pipe. I haven't put one of the rubber tips on the end of it yet, though. I was going to do that until I went for the Codger Challenge. This one, I cannot remember if this was one that came in a eBay auction, or if this is one that I got with the, I can't remember who did it. It was you buy 7 cobs for like $49 or something like that. A cob a day for a week. And this may be one of them, because I took 2 or 3 of them out and started smoking on them. But I like this. It's kind of deep. Goes 2 knuckles high with your little finger. And I like the bent stem. I think that might be something with me. I like different stems. But anyway, it's a 7 pipe stand. And that's just 7 of the pipes I've bought since I started this crazy trip down the rabbit hole. But it's a fun trip. I like it. I like the community because everybody seems to be very friendly. And this is sort of a way to smoke with others, because there's nobody I know around here that smokes. I live in the low country in South Carolina. My mother met my dad during the war when his ship had been hit by a missile, one of the first radio-controlled missiles in the war by Hitler's group. And his ship limped across the Atlantic into Charleston for some maintenance. And he was going around the town, as sailors do, looking for what sailors look for. And he hopped on a bus. My mother was sitting on a seat because she was coming home from work. She worked at Silver's in Charleston, which is one of the old dime stores. And the bus was crowded except for her seat, which had an empty section. And he would not sit down. So finally she just looked up at him and said, "You can sit down because I won't bite you." And that's how they met. It was a leap year, and back in those days they said that a woman could ask a man to marry her if it was a leap year. So she kind of liked him. She asked him to marry him. She asked him to marry her. Which he did. And that was in June of 1944, I believe. And she got on a carrier, a British carrier, that was going back to England in the middle of a convoy. She was 18 years old. I always admired her for that. So she went back to England and lived with his parents while he was in the Navy. And that picture that I just showed was after he had gotten out of the Navy and was working with his dad to support his family and Granddad's family. Until he remembered that he had made a promise to my mother that he would bring her back to the States, bring her back home. Which he did. In 1949, we came back over here. So I was 3 years old, close to 4, because it was in December, I believe, that we came back. Anyway, my mother lived with his parents, and I believe it was in Dover, and the V-2s were coming across, and they watched them fly overhead, so she was there during the middle of that. Thank the Lord they weren't hurt. Anyway, so much about my parents' past history. I thank you for watching. I hope I didn't bore you too much. And I'll try and think of something tomorrow to bring up. By the way, Hunter is asleep as usual. I will see if I can take some more moving pictures of him when he's moving. But as for now, I'm going to hang it up. I'm going to say God bless you until the next time.